he's last name Sanders, since he's a high-profile guy. His dad is his
number's retired.
His number, yes, he's retired number quarterback at University of Colorado.
Yes,
he gets a lot of attention. A lot of people who do draft analysis think that he is a first-round talent, that maybe even a high first-round talent, that he could end up going to the Giants or Cleveland or one of these places that have one of the higher picks in the draft. There's also a lot of people that do the same thing, that analyze these draft-eligible players, that think he might fall completely out of the first round. That is a huge gap between the top of the first round and out of the first round.
Right.
That's a big gap. So the scenario that you painted a minute ago, where we're into the late teens, early 20s, and he's still on the board. And the Rams are at 26, and the Rams clearly have their quarterback of the present in Matthew Stafford, but they do not have the quarterback of the future on that roster. It's not Jimmy G. It's not Matthew Stafford. It's somebody else.
Right.
Shedeur has ability. He has a ton of celebrity. We know what that means in Los Angeles.
I think he'd be better than Stetson Bennett.
I would hope so.
And probably at some point with reps could be better than Garoppolo.
I would think that's a possibility too. And that's when it would get weird, because drafting Shedeur Sanders does not help Matthew Stafford in 2025. Doesn't help him. And I don't think it torpedoes him at all, but it's like, I don't have a tight end. I don't have a corner to get the ball back. I don't have a more offensive line. It just doesn't help me win week 1 of next season. But he's right here. We didn't think he's going to be right here. That puts the Rams in a weird spot. And maybe it's not Sanders. Maybe it's Dart. Maybe that they really value a player like that. They think he's going to be gone, but he's still sitting there. That circumstances could lead to them to doing something that maybe they don't want to do, but all of a sudden we didn't think this was going to be an option. We got to jump on it while we have the chance.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't bring him here to back up Matthew Stafford. I think that would create more pressure and more tension for Stafford.
Pressure? Tension, I understand. They're not going to bench Matthew Stafford.
It would create tension and pressure on Stafford. Think about what follows Stafford and the podcast and the people that talk on his behalf a lot. And then you bring in a Shedeur Sanders who's not going to hold his tongue, who's probably going to be your biggest social media guy on the football team. He's going to be Mr. LA. He's not going to come to Los Angeles and hide.
No.
He's going to be out in front. And the best job in the world is always the backup quarterback. So if he starts to struggle, and Matthew Stafford had games last year where he struggled a little bit.
Slow start,
especially in weather.
Last 2 seasons, the Rams have got off to a slow start.
So you get off to the same slow start in a season where you took the eventual champions to the wire. So there's expectations are high, and he starts off slow. And then the noise begins. Maybe we should start looking to the future. The future is now. Then Shedeur says it. Or he likes a tweet or likes an Instagram post. And here we go again. And then you get people defending Matthew Stafford. Now you have 2 separate camps on your football team. I wouldn't do it.
The scenario that you just described is possible, for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure it is. But I think that there's additional context that would make, I'm not saying that it wouldn't happen and it wouldn't be noisy out there, but the actuality of him reasonably being benched or replaced is virtually zero.
You mean Stafford?
Yes.
Oh, 100.
Because it's, let's say he gets off to the same slow start that I shouldn't even say the team gets off to the same slow start that they've had the last couple of years. I know what you're going to say. I know what I would be saying. If we're let's say it's week 7 and they're 3-4. It's like, this doesn't look very good. Guys, is what we've been saying the last 2 years. They'll figure it out. They always figure it out. Matthew Stafford, he'll figure it out. Be patient. That because they were as close as they were last year, and because it really didn't present itself until the end of the line in both of the last 2 years, I don't think there's going to be this rush to make a change, to actually sit down and say, there may be chatter in the universe, but I trust the people that actually are involved in the decisions to not really listen to it.
Of course.
You bring up a really interesting point.
What?
That people that speak for other people might engage at a level that makes it messy.
And you know what I'm talking about, right?
Of course, we all do.
That's what I'm talking. It gets loud, and that's when people start picking sides. And he's not going to back down from it. He's going to try to roll right over the top, and that's a mess. So that's what I mean. I mean, there's a big. If I'm drafting Shedeur Sanders, I'm drafting him to play. I'm drafting him to be my starter, not to be the backup. I wouldn't wish him on any starting quarterback in the National Football League. eventually you're going to fold under that pressure.
Eventually.
Yes.
He's going to play, but I don't know if I agree with the first part of that.
What?
That I think where you could draft him to not play right away. I'm not saying you put him on ice for years. I'm saying maybe just for this season would be a place like L.A., where Matthew Stafford is clearly your guy, but you're also clearly towards the end of the line. And the last 2 seasons, we've kind of said, do we want to do this or not? And because the team's been good, they've decided not. We'll keep going with Matthew Stafford. But that decision each year gets more and more likely that they are going to move on.
Right.
And maybe this accelerates that. But I don't think him sitting there for 1 year makes it uncomfortable for anybody.
So I saw Coleman Shelton, and he's a dog, so we speak a different language. And I just made a joke. So you're coming here to back up, huh? And he looked at me like, do I look like a backup?
Sure.
Okay, so that's a dude that's mild-mannered. Now let's enter Shedeur Sanders. He's not going any place to back up. He's not that guy. He's coming to start, and he's going to be loud about it.
He might be.
He's going to be very loud about it. And
I think they can handle it.
This is the worst place to put him because he's going to be front row with the Lakers. He's
That's
going to
okay.
be. He's going to be everywhere. Well, you think it's okay until your backup is the most popular guy on the team.
But if Stafford's playing well, Stafford's been around a long. I don't think he's going to be threatened by the new guy.
No, but just if he gets off to a slow start, and there were some moments where Stafford didn't look great. He picked it up late and was that guy. I still think he is that guy. But the minute you hit the skids, you're going to start saying he's old.
Yes.
Or if you're below 500, before you start to make the miracle comeback, maybe we should start the rebuilding now. Why not Shedeur?
Had they not pulled the turnaround that they pulled the last 2 years, I would be 1,000% with you. But I think that because the 2 years, because of him, McVay's not going to let it get out of hand. I agree. Shedeur will do whatever it is he's going to do.
I don't think any coach can keep this kid from getting out of hand.
Maybe not. But it's never actually going to get to the point where he's going to go into a football game because we just think he's the better option.
Right. But you've watched Shedeur on the field, off the field. What part of him says coachable? Right. His dad's been coaching him.
Yeah.
This is different.
No, it is. And it's a good point, but if he's there, man, you got to really think about it.
And your cupboard is bare.
Yeah.
It's a tough decision to make.
All right, give us a call right now, 877-710-ESPN, 877-710